Hi, I'm Anthony Lombardi. Thanks for joining me today. The reason I'm here and the reason I'm doing this for all of you is there's something important I want to share. A lot of you think this is, about a boot camp or about a better way to do things, and you're right on one hand and you're kind of right on the other. It is about a boot camp, but it is absolutely about a better way. See, there's some important stuff that I think is worth taking the time out of my day to share with you. In our industry as advisors, we're pushed every day constantly to do more, to make more money, to have more better clients, and ultimately to have a more successful practice. Unfortunately, I think we're a little skewed on what we consider successful, and I think the term of more is nothing more than a kind of a boulder that's in the way of what's really important. So what I'd like to do is throw all of that out the window for the time being anyway, and talk to you about something that I think is a lot more important. See, more is just more in my opinion. And in our industry, not everybody's telling you that. At the end of the day, you could log on to this experience that you're going to have for the next 20 or 30 minutes because you might learn how to increase your revenues per client. You might want to come to one of the Lombardi bootcamp experiences because you might learn how to work only with the affluent, and or how to develop amazing relationships with CPAs. And those are all great reasons. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it really has to do with having a better life. And I don't see anybody out there talking about that, unfortunately. They're talking about how to have a better practice, how to have better clients, how to be better at what you're doing. And sometimes the better at what you're doing is getting in the way of you having a better life. I've often said that what we're doing for a living is actually getting in the way of us having a life, and that's the problem. And so maybe this isn't exactly what you thought you were going to get when you logged onto this webinar or this experience, but it's absolutely what you need. See, I'm going to share a formula with you that I think works. At our bootcamp experiences, we do all of the aforementioned. We will show you how to increase your revenues per client dramatically. I mean, I won't even go into what the average is, but let's just say the average is a few $100s, and we're talking about we're talking about multiple six-figure type of incomes per client. And yes, we're going to show you how to only work with the affluent after redefining, of course, your definition of affluent. And then ultimately, we'll show you how to have amazing relationships with CPAs. All of that will get discussed at the bootcamp experiences. And ultimately, it'll give you what we believe more time for what's most important. The interesting thing is it all works in a formula. And before I get into why any of this even matters, let me give you the formula for what I call a better way. All right, so it's simple. The formula starts out with L. It's L plus F plus R equals S equals T. Now, believe it or not, that is the formula for a better way. What are you going to do with that? It's just a bunch of letters and some pluses and equal signs. Okay? But if you get this, I honestly believe the light will go off and the rest of today's 20 minutes or whatever we have left will make a lot more sense. So let me write this down and show you what L stands for. First, it's leverage. L is for leverage. Why? Why leverage? Because at the end of the day, it's not about how many clients you have. It's not about how much more revenue you can make. What it is, it's about how you can use your time most efficiently. It's about leverage. See, if you're not leveraged, if you don't have a leveraged audience and you aren't a leveraged audience, then you're going nowhere. So the most important part of this formula is leverage. You're going to have leverage. You're going to have to find a leveraged audience, and you're going to have to be attractive to that leveraged audience because you yourself are in a leveraged position. Leverage is the only way this is ever going to work. Take it from someone who used to have almost 800 clients who today has 6. And my 6 leveraged clients are doing a whole lot more for my life than the 800 ever did. As a matter of fact, all the 800 ever did was take away from my life. So leverage. Leverage is key. And in our profession, the only reason we care whatsoever about a CPA is they happen to be, in my opinion, my humble opinion, the most desirable leverage audience you can find. That's the demographic. That's where you hunt. That's leverage. So the CPA becomes leverage. So you need leverage. So you take leverage and then you add it to F. And F is pretty interesting. It's frequency. Leverage plus frequency. What do I mean by that? Is you find a leveraged audience, you find a leveraged demographic, and then you invest time with them. Okay? Frequency. The more that you're with them, the better. My 6 clients, I have over 150 hours a year invested with each of those clients. And believe me, that's an incredible investment of time. And let me tell you, it's not because I'm working 60 hours a week, because I'm not. 15 hours a week in the office at most. That's it. See, the frequency I have with my clients, the fact that they're leveraged makes all the difference in the world. So leverage plus frequency, being with someone a lot. You know that in your best relationships. The more time invested with that person, the better the relationship. See, you're all on this call, most of you anyway, because you want to figure out how to do more, how to make more, how to have more. And because of that, I'm going to take away from that for a moment and invest the first few minutes of this giving you a formula that will change everything and give you more of what you truly desire most. I'm just going to shift your focus and open up a world of possibilities because of this simple formula. R, one of the most important words we're going to have on this board today, is relationship. And we're going to come back to that because that's a big point. Okay, so let's just move past R for a second and talk about S. Now, S is there for a simple reason, not because it means success. See, that's the problem with this country. We have an epidemic, a disease called success. And honestly, the cure for that is the word I'm going to round the board next. And that word is significance. Significance. See, the key is a relationship that becomes significant. You know that already, though. The best relationships you have, whether it's with your family, whatever, loved ones, your spouse, if it's significant, the fruit from that relationship is tremendous. The less significant or the more insignificant you are, the less fruit. So why would you ever have a target of just success when significant means so much more? Honestly, significance can't even be measured. See, this is important. This formula works because of that word. All right, and if you take it and you finish it out, why the reason we're doing all of this, the important part of this entire equation, the big apple here is time. Time. Leverage plus frequency plus relationship equals significance. And that significance equals time for you for what's most important. Now see, you're not going to have these if you don't do this. These two and those two, the dash in the middle, that is the relationship, is important. Okay? So you want to have more revenues per client. You want to work only with CPAs. You want to have only affluent opportunities going forward. Then you need to develop an amazing relationship, a significant relationship with a leveraged audience in a significant fashion. See, this is important. So if you take that, and let's talk about this relationship. How are you going to develop relationships with CPAs? Well, here's the goods. The first thing you need to do is become attractive to that leveraged audience. And most of us are not. Why? Because most of us do nothing more than carry our little solutions with us and open up and say, hey, this is what I have for you, Mr. CPA. You need this. Your clients need that. You need this. None of us are becoming attractive or addressing even the needs of the CPA. The moment you become attractive, the CPA then has an interest in what you have to say. And the best way to become attractive, the simplest way to become attractive is first, to address the risks inherent in the CPA's practice. Secondly, you have to uncover the inefficiencies that the CPA is working with. And lastly, and most importantly, you have to present yourself as the solution. See, the problem is you don't do that. You don't offer yourself up as the answer. You're carrying a bag of tricks with you that you think is the strength, that you think is the answer, and that's not it. The one thing the CPA needs more than anything else you will ever offer that person, is someone they can trust most. And nobody is trying to do that. Everybody's just trying to get past the CPA right to their clients. First of all, you don't want their clients. You don't want their clients at all. That's their headache. You don't want all their clients. They have too many clients. Same problems you have. What you want is you want to help them do what they already need to do and are looking for ways to do it, and it's take care of their very best clients. See, that's leverage. It doesn't do any good to work with a CPA and then have to handle 500 of his clients. Then you're sitting there, the same problem you had before with too many clients. But if, because of your relationship that's significant with the CPA, you're helping him only with his very, very best, and you're dealing with maybe 15 super affluent client situations, that's leverage. And the only way you get there, the only way you'll ever see that, is if you become significant in the life of that CPA. And the only way you're ever going to become significant in the life of that CPA is if you help them with their problem. And the problem is they don't have anybody they can trust to do that. They don't need better answers. They don't need better solutions. They need someone who is the answer. They need someone who is the solution. And you can be that if you're willing to invest the time. Is the juice worth the squeeze? I don't know. Is 7 figures annually per client better than $300 a year per client? Or better than $3,000 a year per client? Or better than $5,000 or $10,000 a year per client? I think so. Especially when you only need a handful of them and you have all this extra time for what's really most important, and it isn't your business. So the first thing you need to do is address the risk. The risk they have, the one risk you have to look at is the fact that their best clients are leaving. Their best clients are underserved. Their best clients, according to their professions magazines, 70% of their best clients are dissatisfied. That's scary. And no one's addressing that, and you can do that. So when you address their risk and you look at them and say, you have the same problems I had. You have way too many clients. You're dealing with stuff that is very poor revenue per client, revenue per hour efficient. And you know what? You're working on B and C work when you should only be handling your A client situations. When you start having those type of conversations with them, you become very attractive. And no one's doing that. So you become attractive, you address their risks, you uncover these inefficiencies, and then you say, you know what, Mr. CPA potential situation of mine, I can help you. I can help you. I can help you fix the problems. I can help you with your biggest risk. I can help you with your inefficiencies because I've had the same. And I can help you whenever you need to help your very best clients, as I will work through you, not around you or instead of you. See, this is how it works. How do I know? Because that's what I'm doing, and that's what we're teaching, and that's what we're showing you how to do, because that's the way it should be. It should be people helping people. Okay, that's all this is about. Doing the right things with the right people for the right reason. You do that, and the right stuff will happen. So you address the risk, you uncover inefficiencies, and you say, you know what? You don't need all these other answers. What you need is me. Because you have to be valuable. Period. If you don't see yourself as the answer, they're never going to. If you don't see yourself as all they need, they're never going to see it that way. But if you do, and you position yourself in such a way to show them that you are, you're home. And no one's doing that, except the people that we're helping and teaching. That's it. There's no competition, because the one thing the CPA doesn't have is you. He's got answers. I'm going to tell you. He's got fancy solutions. He's got ways to cut taxes and help with the state and transfer equity. He's got that. He's got M&A answers. He understands how to take a sale of a business and do it most efficiently. What he doesn't have, the one thing he doesn't have, and the thing you never bring to the table is you. He doesn't have you. And if you're valuable, he needs you. Simple. That's what makes the equation work. Look, this is important to find it, but if you don't do the work here, then that's never going to happen. And if that doesn't happen, it's an exercise of futility. You need to have more time for what's most important. You need a significant relationship. You need to develop that significant relationship with a leveraged audience, and you need to see them often. And if you do all of that, and you do it the way we're going to teach you, the way we can show you, then you'll have this incredible relationship. You'll have the formula, and it works. Period. It's not smoke and mirrors. It's not rocket science. You know what it is? It's your God-given DNA to develop an amazing relationship with another human being. You want to work only with the affluent? Then you build amazing relationships with the people that do what? That have affluent situations. And you only help them with their best. And why is that? Because that's the only ones they really care about losing. They know they need to push the others away. That's not a secret. The issue is they need someone to help them do it. So what they do want, what they really want in a perfect world, is to say, hey, I need to take care of my best. The other ones can go away. The problem is they're taking care of the other ones and their best are leaving them. You can help with that. And it's not because you're going to bring some fancy new solution to the table, because there's nothing new. The only thing they've never had before, the one thing they truly need, is someone they can trust. And if that someone is you, you are home. And that formula works. And it'll change everything, because at the end of the day, it gives you more time. See, I did all of this because I wanted to enjoy my life. I wanted to have a life worth living. I wanted to someday say it was worth the time I invested in my life for the life that I lived. So at the end of the day, I had no regrets. It doesn't do me any good. It doesn't do anybody any good to ever give you answers and ways to do things if all it does is take away time from what's most important. It wouldn't do me any good. This formula would be useless if, at the end of the day, it showed you how to do great things, but it required more of your most precious asset, your time. What this does, it actually captures time. It actually gives you more time. Your business is not what's most important to you, and if it is, then you shouldn't even be listening anymore. What's most important to you is what's being sacrificed because of the pursuit of success for your practice. See, this will give you everything. This gives you what you want most. More time for what's most important. A way to work with the super affluent situations. A way to what? Increase revenues dramatically per client. And how to develop significant relationships with a CPA. All of that equates to less time in the office, more time for what's most important. A life truly worth living. See, that's a better way. That's a better way. Now, I don't know if you're looking still at this point for ways to do better things or have more, but the only reason you should listen, the only reason you should care at this point is because you've got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. Are you done doing what you're doing? Are you still looking for answers and you're just not happy with what you're finding? Because you'll listen to this webinar or this experience, and you'll listen to another one, and you'll go to another boot camp, and you'll go to another seminar somewhere, and you'll continue and continue and continue to look for the right answer. A right way. Because something's not right. No matter how successful your business seems to be, you're still looking. You're still online right now watching this. See, that's the answer. The answer is, show me a way that my life makes sense doing my job. Show me a way that my life makes sense doing my job. Now, if you can say that, you don't need to be on this call anymore. You don't need to be looking at this and listening. If your life makes sense the way you're doing your job, you're good. But if it doesn't, and you're looking and you're searching, you're going to keep searching until you figure out that formula. Because whatever you're going to do, it better give you more time for what's most important, or you will regret it later. You will miss the important things in life, and that's not okay with me. It was never okay with me, and that's why we do what we do. That's why we call it the experience, because when you experience what we're showing you, what we will do in 2.5 days with us there, you will realize, oh my goodness, there's a better way. This is a better life. This makes sense. Now, I'm not just some guy who wrote a book and said, this sounds like it would be a good idea. I lived it. I was the guy at 60 hours, 70 hours a week. I was starting at 6 in the morning, getting done at 9 o'clock at night. I was working on Saturdays. I had a nice book of business, making what I thought was a good living, but I was missing my life. I have an 11-year-old daughter now, and I haven't been in the office more than a few hours over the last 2 weeks because it was a big time in her life, and I was with her every step of the way over the last 2.5 weeks. That's life. That's a job that makes sense to my life. Ask yourself, are you really good where you're at? Because if you're not, are you done waiting? Are you done? I would love to help you. I would love for you to figure that out and to watch what you do and to see the amazing life that a little significance makes, the little difference a little significance makes in your life. I'd love to see that. But I can't make the decision for you. I can help you make what I think could be the decision of a lifetime, but ultimately you have to be the one that wants it. You have to be the wants this more than anything else. Wants this to be the end, the list to be the last time you have to watch somebody talk to you about this. This is it. You make that decision, you invest the 2 days, you come here, and you let us show you that. And even if you don't, take this with you. Take this with you and dissect it and tear it apart and think about what a difference it would make if you did this. And then do it. Just do it. Be done following what everybody else says is important. Let you have for once what you feel is important, and you be different. You be the change you want to see in the world. What type of business owner are you going to be? The kind that on purpose, by design, built his business to serve his life? Or the one that still, by default, has his life serving his business? This decision is yours. I think more time from what's most important is worth everything you have to put in to have it. I think the juice is worth the squeeze. And if this hasn't struck a chord with you, if you're not resonating with what I'm saying, then you're either in a really good place or you're in denial. Either way, I hope that you find the answer. Because there's a better way. I promise you this is a better way. It works for me. It can work for you. I just made the decision to have it happen. I just said there's no way I'm going to go another step further doing it their way. I want to find a better way. I want more time. I want to work with people and I want to make a difference in their lives. I would love to make a difference in yours. Contact us. Come invest 2.5 days with us. And let me help you have a better way, a better life. Thank you and have a great day.